In this episode of Teslacam Stories.
Wham, bam, Teslacam, I hope you're satisfied.
Vince was driving his Model 3 in Kirkwood, Missouri. Rain was pouring down and water was building up on the road. Watch what happened when he came to a slight turn in the freeway. The Mercedes-Benz C-Class that was passing him on the right hydroplaned, losing traction and spinning out right in front of him. Vince hit the brakes just in time. The Mercedes crashed into the barrier in front of Vince and parts went flying everywhere. If we play back the video in slow motion, we can see that, surprisingly, the Mercedes airbags didn't deploy. Vince stopped to check on the driver of the Mercedes, who was fortunate to be unharmed. Vince's wife stayed in their Model 3 and called 911 while he made his way up the road to warn other drivers, since visibility was poor and the road conditions were unsafe. Brendan was driving his Model 3 behind a BMW in Colac, Victoria, Australia. It was a wet day and the roads were a bit slippery, especially in this 60-mile-per-hour zone approaching a large roundabout with a suggested speed of 25 miles per hour. The BMW driver slowed a little on approach, but still carried more speed than Brendan thought was safe. The other driver hit the brakes while the car was turning, and that sealed his fate. Releasing the brakes when he did just meant the car would travel straight again. Brendan stopped and checked on the BMW driver. He wasn't hurt, but the car definitely suffered. It probably would have been worse if not for the safety cables. Scott was driving southbound on I-17 in Phoenix, Arizona. He was on his way to work protection duty as an Arizona Ranger when a motorcyclist passed him, dancing and grooving to music. Man, he's really into his music. I bet he was listening to the Wham Bam intro medley. I've heard it's quite irresistible. The motorcyclist took off at high speed only to crash a quarter of a mile down the road, rolling several times. We can see his riderless motorcycle slam into the concrete barrier, narrowly missing other vehicles. Scott pulled into the center lane to block any cars from running him over, and several other drivers stopped to help as well. The rider got up and had some gnarly road rash, but otherwise, he appeared okay. Jay was driving his Model Y in Bellevue, Washington, when he witnessed a woman in a Volkswagen taking a left at a blinking yellow light. That's when a Honda with the right-of-way came straight through the intersection. The VW driver didn't have a chance to react, and the Honda crashed into her. Jay checked on the drivers, and fortunately, they were both unharmed and there was no medical assistance required. He stayed until the police arrived and shared the Teslacam footage with all parties. The VW driver was found to be at fault for the accident. Fabian was driving his Model 3 in Boca Raton, Florida, when he approached a Hyundai that was overtaking a woman who was jogging with earphones on. Luckily, the Hyundai driver slowed down in time, but this clearly scared the jogger. Notice how she held her hand over her heart afterward. Max works full-time for DoorDash, making deliveries in his Model 3. Watch what happened when he was picking up an order at Chick-fil-A. Max put the food inside an insulated bag to keep it warm, then put the bag in his frunk. This apparently amazed the teenagers in the cars in front of him. I'm not even sure what to say about this guy sticking his head out. That's priceless. Max, a Wham Bam hoodie is coming your way so you can stay warm and deliver in style. Wham Bam, here's your food, man. I hope you're satisfied. Jeff was driving his Model S in Garland, Texas. This video is from 2017, before the Teslacam feature was released. However, Jeff had recently installed an aftermarket dashcam when a truck had a tire blow out in front of him. The truck hit the concrete median, fishtailed, and hit another car, sending it up an embankment. Jeff pulled over and made sure everyone was okay. He waited for the cops and told them he had a dashcam recording and emailed it to the officer later that afternoon. Luke was driving his Model 3 in the United Kingdom when a man gave a happy jump and a thumbs up for his Tesla. Tom was driving his Model 3 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin when all of a sudden a wild kayak appeared. Tom says that our channel has almost made him too paranoid to drive his car. Seeing clips of all the awful drivers out there makes him glad he doesn't have a daily commute. This submitter was driving his Model 3 home from work in Saddlebrook, New Jersey. That's when he witnessed a group of motorcyclists being pursued by the New Jersey State Police. It reminded him of a scaled-down and less action-packed version of a scene from Too Fast, Too Furious, when a bunch of street racers left a parking lot at the same time, so the ones being chased by the cops would be lost in the crowd and escape. Who knows, maybe they were filming a scene for Fast and Furious 32, coming soon to a theater near you. John was driving his Model 3 in Raleigh, North Carolina. As he approached a traffic light, the vehicle in the opposing turn lane failed to yield. John took evasive action by making a quick lane change and flooring the juice pedal. Randolph was driving his Model 3 down California State Route 57 in Diamond Bar, California. Hold on, we need to cue up the right music for what's about to happen.
Burn this shit up.
There we go, much better. As Randolph was driving down the freeway, a Prius appeared sporting a disco ball, LED lights, and a fog machine, with the driver bobbing his head by himself to some music. Either this is a unique rideshare car experience, or this guy knows how to beat the midnight boredom. During Elon Musk's monologue opening when he hosted Saturday Night Live, he made a joke about driving a Prius. But what if he wasn't joking? The party continues in the next video from submitter This Is Not Will, someone we expect is, in fact, Will. Will was driving his Model 3 in Boynton Beach, Florida when he witnessed Batman protecting his town on a pimped-out bicycle. These budget cuts are brutal. Mike was driving his Model Y when he got stuck behind some spring breakers hanging out of a moving SUV as they left Canyon Lake near Phoenix, Arizona. Thankfully, no one got hurt, and Mike's 14-year-old son, who was in the back seat, now says he can't wait to go to college. I'm sure we'll get some people accusing us in the comments of only showing skimpily dressed girls, but don't worry, Mike's Teslacam has captured some clips of dudes showing skin too. For example, he also sent us this video of a guy on a motorcycle whose shirt blew up just as they passed. The guy was able to fix his shirt right after they passed him, so all's well. Matt was driving his Model 3 in Australia when he saw a woman waiting to cross the road. Living on the Gold Coast, he says they have lots of tourists from countries that drive on the other side of the road, and they often forget to look to the right before crossing the street. Suspecting that this might be the case, he disengaged autopilot and hovered his foot over the brake pedal. Sure enough, she walked right out in front of him. Luckily, he was prepared and she only suffered a scare. Angel was driving his Model S in Chicago, Illinois when a car in the far left lane changed lanes, hitting a Ford and a Jeep in the center lane. Robert had parked his Model 3 in London, Ontario, Canada. Once he got back, he noticed this Sentry Mode recording of two people looking inside his car. It turns out they were just a couple of Tesla fans, and Sentry Mode got a thumbs up. Ian was driving home from a friend's house in Cary, North Carolina. He heard about some severe weather headed his way, so he decided to head home fast. Taking the off-ramp toward his house, he caught a glimpse of some lightning. Steven was driving his Model Y in Lake Orion, Michigan, when a Volkswagen that passed him showed off some of that Dieselgate goodness. Steven figures that, now that he's had someone roll coal on him, he's officially a Tesla owner. Wham bam, welcome to the club, man. Peter was driving his Model 3 in Citrus Heights, California, when the driver of a Chrysler on his right wasn't paying attention to traffic stopping up ahead. He almost rear-ended a pickup truck in front of them, but he managed to swerve at the last second, missing the truck and car in the middle lane by mere inches. Naz was out driving in London on a Friday night and showing his friends the Model 3 Performance he'd just purchased. He wanted to show off the impressive Tesla torque, but his buddy in the passenger seat would end up seeing a lot more than that. As they were sitting at a red light, a Lamborghini slowly crawled up alongside them. The Lambo had tinted windows, so Naz wasn't sure if the driver was checking him out or not, but he kept creeping forward, which Naz took as a signal to race. His adrenaline started rushing and his heart started beating faster. He decided to wait for the Lambo driver to make the first move. As soon as the light turned green, Naz smashed the juice pedal and crushed the Lamborghini off the line. Naz wasn't really sure if the Lambo driver wasn't intending to race or if maybe he just didn't really know how to drive it. At the next light, Naz got ready for round 2. Naz's friends now call him the Lambo Killer. This Model 3 owner had parked his Tesla in a parking lot, and when he got back, he found this Sentry Mode recording. Maybe this is a TikTok video in the making. That reminds me, be sure to follow the official Wham Bam Teslacam channel on TikTok. That's where the real TikTok magic is happening. Hey, stop violating the Teslacam. James was cruising down the highway with autopilot engaged in his Model 3 when he noticed the car ahead of him quickly change lanes. After turning off autopilot, James maneuvered around the ladder in the shoulder. The white car behind him wasn't quick enough and partially ran it over, and it almost got hit by another car and a semi. James tried calling the police to report the dangerous situation, but they said they were already aware of it. Do you think autopilot could have avoided the ladder on its own? Leave a comment and let us know your theory. Ali was driving his Model 3 in Sacramento, California when a lady on a bike didn't stop at the crosswalk. He crashed directly into her, but thankfully she wasn't hurt. However, there was an argument about who was at fault. The police arrived at the scene and ruled in his favor. The lady was at fault for recklessly entering the crosswalk. Garrison was driving home on I-5 just south of Salem, Oregon. It was about 9 p.m. when he saw a bunch of space debris burning up in the sky above. Garrison is pretty sure it was an old Falcon 9 second stage he had read about on Twitter. Let's keep the space theme going for a few more videos, shall we? In this next space video from Raoul in the Netherlands, he spotted a falling meteor. Dave Stellar, Stellard, was driving in Eaton, Australia when he also spotted a meteor falling from the sky. Doug was driving his Model 3 in Layton, Utah when he witnessed a meteor. He's fairly certain that this was a very special meteor and that his Cybertruck delivery date will get moved up by several months. There are a lot of Cybertruck wishes to be granted in this episode, so we have a special video for you guys which will inspire you to wish even harder. Elon Musk was in New York City to host Saturday Night Live, and the Cybertruck was temporarily shown off at the Tesla store in Chelsea. Yaw immediately took off and headed over there to take this video for us, and what a video it is! With the Model Y being his first car, he's convinced that the Cybertruck will be his next. After seeing it in person, he told us he'll definitely be placing an order soon. There were a lot of people lined up to see the truck, and the streets were filled with Teslas. I'm assuming every single one of them had seen a shooting star, and were showing up to get their Cybertruck wishes granted.
Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Cybertruck? My friends all drive diesel, I must make it